Walt Whitman is weird, man. Why? He's just a weirdo. But how? He just is. You know what I mean? No, I don't know what you mean. Walt Whitman is an eccentric poet. Why? Because in part number 52 of Song of Myself, he talks to a bird. He hears a bird cry out, like, caw. He hears that, and he literally talks to the bird and tells it, I too am untamed. But how does that make him weird? Because who does that? Animals can't talk, and animals probably don't understand or care what humans think. But Walt Whitman talks to the bird, man, as if it does understand, as if it does care. And that's kind of weird, and I think it tells us that he's a weird guy. I see your point. That's pretty interesting, actually. I hadn't thought about it that way. Thanks for sharing. Hi guys, welcome to my video about argumentative writing. Now, argumentative writing is at the core of what we're going to do in my class this year. And it's very important for getting your point across. In that skit that I just did, the first time that I tried to express my views about Walt Whitman, it didn't go very well. Why? Because I didn't have a very clear argument. However, the second time I had a much clearer argument, and as you can see, I really impressed the fictional version of myself in the skit. But real life will go that way too, guys. The more clear your argument is, the more likely people are to listen to you and to listen to the things that you have to say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a quick PowerPoint where I introduce all the different parts of argumentative writing, and then I will show you some examples. This is going to be the first video in a series, and the purpose of this video is to just kind of go over the parts and get you sort of reacquainted, maybe give you a little bit of a review. If you want to go in depth with any of the parts in this video, so claim, evidence, analysis, I'm going to be making separate videos for those. So don't stress about getting all of this down right now. This is just like a sort of introduction video. All right, so here we go. An introduction to argumentative writing. Now the first thing I need to do is explain what argumentative writing is and why we use the word argument. So argumentative writing means that you're building an argument, and an argument is not two people yelling at each other, at least not in this class. It is something that you're trying to convince your readers of. You have something to say, now you need to come up with a strong argument so that people will listen to the things that you are trying to say. Arguments can be opinions, but they're not always opinions. You're not always going to be arguing in favor of an opinion. Sometimes you're going to need to argue about factual things. And in the example that I've got today, we are looking at an argument that's a little bit more of an opinion, and that is that I'm going to argue that Walt Whitman is a weirdo. And I say that lovingly, guys. I really like Walt Whitman, but there's no denying he was a weird dude. So the first thing to do in argumentative writing is to open with your claim. Now, your claim is what you the writer, believe to be true. And it's what you are trying to convince your readers of. So I think that Walt Whitman is a weirdo. But if somebody reads my writing, they might not think he's all that weird. And I'm trying to convince them, hey, this thing that I think, it's true, man, and you should listen to it. You should think what I think. So my example is, Walt Whitman is an eccentric guy. Eccentric means a little different, a little odd, a little weird. That's what eccentric means if you don't know that word. Once you've got a claim going, you really need to give your readers some evidence, right? So now they know what you think, but they need a quote that proves that your claim could be true, right? You got to show them something to make them go, maybe he's onto something. You need that quote. So my example is, in part 52 of Song of Myself, Whitman talks to a bird. He hears the bird cry out, and he responds by telling the bird that he, Whitman, too is untamed. So there's a quote from the poem itself. You know my claim, you know what I think, now you have some evidence. But that's not enough, because by far I think the most important part of argumentative writing is your analysis. And this is the interesting part, you guys. As a teacher, I really enjoy reading your analysis because this is where things can get original. This is where things can get fresh. So in your analysis, you're going to explain how your quote proves your claim. So for example, Animals can't talk, and animals probably don't understand or care what humans think. But Walt Whitman talks to the bird as if it does understand, as if it could care. I think that's strange, and I think it shows us that he is a weird guy. So we've got a claim, we've got some evidence, and we've got an analysis. And if we put them all together, we end up with an answer that looks, well, not an answer, a piece of writing that looks a little bit like this. Walt Whitman is an eccentric guy. In part number 52 of Song of Myself, he talks to a bird. He hears a bird cry out, and he responds by telling it that he, too, is untamed. Animals can't talk, and animals probably don't understand or care what humans think. But Walt Whitman talks to the bird as if it does understand, as if it could care. I think that's strange, and I think it shows us that he's a weird guy. Now, as you can see, that is a full paragraph. But really, what it really is, if you pull it apart, it's just a claim followed by evidence followed by some analysis. So what I've done is I've color-coded it here, and we'll swoosh to the right. Claim is yellow, evidence is teal, analysis is green. Walt Whitman is an eccentric guy, claim. In part number 52 of Song of Myself, he talks to a bird. He hears a bird cry out, and he responds by telling it that he too is untamed, evidence. Animals can't talk, and animals probably don't understand or care what humans think. But Walt Whitman talks to the bird as if it does understand, as if it could care. I think that's strange, and it shows us that he is a weird guy. There it is, guys. It's just a basic example of argumentative writing. Anyway, I'm sorry that I'm talking so fast in this video. I just get really excited because I love argumentative writing, and it's at the core of my class. So now you know what the basic pieces are. And as I said at the beginning of this video, as we go on, we are going to go into detail for claim evidence analysis. I'm going to be making separate videos. If you're in my class, you're going to be getting separate lessons on each of those. But use this as a reference video in case you lose sight of the big picture. In case we are writing some argumentative paragraphs and you're like, what is that again? Come and watch this video. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I will see you later.